They've popped not one, not two, but 3 operators, and they haven't found a single kill with any of them. The only thing they've killed is the clock. And you just got a double from a beast that you're not going to get everyone who has a pulse on the freaking point. Get on the point. Win the game. It is a $1 million mistake. What is up, COD Mobile fans? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the playbook. Woo-wee! It's been a lot of fun making these series. You guys have been loving it still. Thank you so much for the support. It's been a lot of fun doing these. But the good news for Godlike has to come doing it. Hate to break it to you guys, but we need to break down the raid control. The $1 million mistake that Godlike made that cost them a chance at the championship and a game 7 on Meltdown, which after the 7-0 breakdown we just did, I'm sure most of you Indian fans are probably like, yo, you get us to 7, we'll find a way to win. So let's jump into it. Look, the thing about raid on control is, how do I frame this? It's a weird one, just to kind of put it plainly, because there are some really awesome elements into being able to play for kills more than necessarily valuing the objective. And it does give you this opportunity to grow an advantage and really create multiple win conditions. Specifically, I'm talking from the offensive side. Defensively, we kind of know how that goes. There is going to be a future video on how to spawn trap on raid control, but I want to take the perspective of the offensive mistakes that were made specifically by Godlike and where they maybe could have chosen a couple of better options. So let's dig straight in. You're going to get Godlike in the blue, and you're going to get Wolves in the yellow. And this was super curious. We brought this up, and maybe one of the Godlike guys, if you guys watch this and you're in the comments, let me know. Did you guys select this map and then Wolves decided to start on offense? Because if that's the case, that's super bizarre. Defensive favor in control generally across the board in the side of COD Mobile is super favored. And I would say largely because defensively, most of the maps are set up to favor you in the first place. But as you get to your second offense, which is often the harder of the two sides, you typically come in with operators that you could spend early to create snowballs. Really curious about that. But you get Godlike starting on the defense, and the opening breakoff for Wolves is actually a pretty good one. Let's go back and just watch this opening breakoff from Wolves. It's all about, you kind of have to pick your poison, right? Do you want to set yourself up to get over towards the B zone? Usually that means some sort of hitting from obviously the driveway side and then following up through mid, try to isolate this top window in some form. Or do you want to make a play over towards A? Regardless of which zone you go for, I always say the middle of the map is the most important part of the map from both sides' perspective. So watch this break off from Wolves. 2-3 split. So they're taking a lot of attention straight in towards middle. And in particular, Nyan is actually sniping against Abiz. He is in this cluster. Abiz is number 4 in blue. So you're going to get an opening snipe off here. And watch the action as it happens in the kill feed. Opening shot gets landed, and the defense for Godlike is fully gambling on a B hit. They're trying to play a little bit of read and respond through mid. So now that Abiz is gone, the response has to be, we have to cut back over and make sure that mid is contested. Godlike don't know at this point in time, is this just a mid hit with a follow-up to B, or is this a mid hit with a follow-up into A? So there will be a bit of, we have to make sure before we push out to kind of, get a solid read on what this is exactly doing. And I do like this small little moment. I'm not going to go into super detail like this, but I do like this little wrap back from number 1 and learn. He essentially guarantees that as a B spawns up, they will have a chance to defend against the defensive spawn trap, which is where you kind of get trapped back here. Or if the push comes heavily through the middle and around the back, then you're spawning up towards laundry. Not ideal for defense. So I like that little small step back, fill in the space over towards mid. Let's watch the action actually unfold as Godlike's going to retake middle and then try to find ways to decide on what they want to do. Do you want to reclaim A if you get good kills, or do you want to try to set up an aggressive B defense and try to get exits? Those kills, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect reclamation of middle. You got a 1v1 here, Trunks. quick, nice, well done. Tries to stay alive. Follow-up is good from Prevail. He gets another. And then you also had that move done by a Bees right through mid, getting right back to where he fell. And there was so much focus for Wolves here to stop this defensive rotation and they never even see a Bees come through. So really, really good retake here. There's one kill from Prevail. There's the follow-up from a Bees. And now the only person on the zone is just Shing. So really nothing he can do there. So really, really good. They don't get a single tick of progress. All those things are great. And more importantly, another good solid defensive footing. We had a route been hit where number 5 is playing inside of gym or right on the car. Kind of hard to see. But what this is going to do is move spawns to the bottom. This is going to force Wolves to spawn up and either make one of two decisions. One, I spawned up close to A. I'm just going to go that A, which is great for Godlike because we have a full A defense ready to go. Two, I don't like spawning here. Let's try to reclaim some ground in towards Art, in towards Zig, and see if we can kind of get some, more neutral spawns so we have options at a later point. So that's kind of what this is done by number 5 and Neutrino by staying in towards Gym side. You can see the decision right here from Wolves is to come back to figure out where exactly these guys are, forcing us to spawn out. Neutrino does really well to get one. And this is so much time off the clock here for Godlike's defense, considering the opening start caught them a bit by surprise. And this is another moment, just again, I don't want to hit this too detailedly, but look at the rewrap coming out as soon as this spawn gets red. Abiz is in a good spot off of his next spawn up. He's now playing a safe angle at B to where he can make contact. That A defense that was behind this wall can now start to make a play forward thanks to Neutrino, forcing players to come back to him. So now, instead of Godlike forcing the spawns of Wolves to be down here, they're all of a sudden, after losing Neutrino, pushing up, and I believe pushing in towards mid. So once more, you can kind of get the idea here that what Godlike are trying to do is force the hand of Wolves. Force them to make a decision of, we are all spawning in towards Gym, so we have to now hit towards B, largely thanks to the fact that the clock is starting to run a little bit. Not terribly, but a little bit. And then on top of that, the only other decision they can make is, do we want to try to back up and re-clear all this? Again, that takes time. As much time as it took for Wolves to spawn down here and re-wrap back up, the same would occur if they spawn up here and want to re-wrap back this way. So spawn manipulation, super, super good from Godlike. Look at this. Look at these routes. Look at how far up the map they're moving. Abiz gets one, backs off a little bit. Now you've got yourself in a great spot to control Art. There's nowhere to go. Prevail just cleans things up from the pinch. Watch number 2 in blue. Watch this movement. You're not going to see any of his kills in the actual cam itself, so watch the movement of number 2. This is brilliant from Prevail. Gets through Art, finds one for free, gets through the window, thanks for the second, and then he's behind the third. No problems. Beautiful play from a guy who just joined the team 2 weeks ago. And now, the opposite happens. You kind of see how this is going, dude? This is unbelievably good stuff from Godlike early. 10 lives up, they clean off this hit, and now guess what? Spawns are down here, and you're in this moment of like, well, B didn't work, we spawned A, let's go A. Well, A didn't work, let's go back and just spawn B. It's just all because of the quick manipulation that comes from where, friends and family? All through mid. The hotspot. You can take so many routes. You can play back through. You can play back through. You can come help immediately. You can come help immediately. It's so many options. And Wolves never re-clear mid outside of the first hit that they put together. Now they're trying to work on it, so that's fine, but it's already to a point where we've got 28 seconds left and an 8 light leaves. There's just no way this is going to work well for Wolves. Beautiful stuff from Godlike. So, last chance for Wolves, down about 8 to 10 lives. They're now in this position where they've cleaned things up. They've gotten back at least some control at mid. They've neutralized it at least. You've got Godlike mostly worried about making sure they could stop the extra 60 seconds, so they're mostly funneling in from the front or through money window. But watch what this does when you don't control spawns. You don't manipulate spawns. These back bedroom spawns for Wolves allow them to continually reinforce over and over and over again, and it actually gives Wolves a realistic chance to actually do some damage. There's the second tick of progress. Really good win from King. Great finesse of his life. Yeah, full flood, good trade. Now a chance to stack, and you can see Godlike are already starting to make a move saying, ooh, we may have to chalk this. let's just make sure we win the round here. So really smart stuff here from Godlike, covering their bases. Extra 60 seconds is on. Now, I will say, in terms of how you do this, if you're Wolves, with the extra 60 seconds, now down to 30, 1 respawn remaining, is they do a really, really solid job here at after the capture at A, they get through the back. This will force the spawns, if they can get even further, this will force the spawns of Godlike to be down towards basketball, or at worst, over in the backside of jungle here, which means that as soon as this contact push comes through in the back, if you can find a way to get these kills, you immediately step up and then you turn back and see if you can get a little bit of reduction on the life count, and you see if you can force this Godlike team to stress just a touch. It's a beautiful read by Wolves. It's super hard to attack this position, and they break it down really nicely. Bees is rotating back from the zone. There's the kill off spawn. Watch this kill off spawn. There's the spawn right here for number 1 and Learn after he just fell. Quick read from King. Gets the kill. So now you've reduced the life disadvantage and you can make your play, but a Bees goes bananas right here. So clutch. But Wolves gave themselves a real good chance there on the control. I don't love Neutrino Warrior Machine here. I get it, but I don't love it. All right, so Godlike offense. This is what we're talking about when it comes to specialist advantage. Remember, Neutrino just used his War Machine, but everybody else has fully earned up their operators. So it gives you this opportunity in your first offense to, at worst, go essentially operator for operator with the defense. At best, you can pop a couple of the key ones early, spam a couple of good positions, and you can come out on top. Now, Wolves, because of that late surge, have also earned 4 of their own. So there is this level of equality in the operators, but Trunks gets really far forward. He's number 3. He gets forward for free. No nades connect onto him. Neutrino's in a really good spot to kind of watch this cross. You can see that the War Machine is out for King already, but he's making sure that King can't peek. So this is free reign for the Claw to get popped and kill everything on the outside of the zone. Really good opening control. Trunks is going to get a couple, and then the last player in King just gets spammed down. Beautiful stuff. Learn by himself over towards A. A beautiful usage of the Annihilator, because look at the route that he takes. He comes through the bottom side at spawn. I don't think he's popped it. No, he has not popped it yet, but as soon as he gets up towards this water staircase, pops it, and now he's the one watching the mid cross. So you've got full control here because of the Claw shooting down everything, full control of laundry window, someone making sure there's no flank, and then because of this route with the Annihilator, it also gets you mid pillars control. Beautiful stuff. Really good operational usage here from Godlike. I personally believe that you should put a second member on and stack as fast as humanly possible when you start to get a couple of trades out, just because it puts you in a spot to get the extra 60 seconds easily, but they instead decide to play forward for like this laundry control, which is also not a bad option. This more suggests that you're going to be playing for things like a spawn trap for extra kills and try to grow that life lead like we talked about very, very early on. Good reclamation of middle, though, from the side of Wolves. They spawn up. They're just kind of playing defense here. Get mid control and see if we can set up an A defense. They're just chalking B completely. No reason to play around it. And you can't get too greedy here if you're Wolves. They're in a really good spot up towards bedroom. Neon getting really aggressive with the scope. And Godlike are a bit stuck right now. Like, flat out, you see them kind of spawning down here. And I don't know if they know exactly what decision they want to go with, because you're in this spot of you still have a life lead. You have a ton of time on the clock. We don't have to kind of boneheadedly ram in towards this bedroom position if we don't want to, because of how much clock and how many lives we have. So there's this route that gets hit that sees number 3. That's Trunks. He's already moved kind of through pillars. Prevail's in a little bit of trouble here at mid. I'm sure he's communicating that he's in trouble at mid. And there's this call where Godlike decide to back off and try to supply extra support, and they're going to try to play through this part of the map on the north side, which is fine. It's fair. They've got time to do this. And then Neon, he thinks that they're going to hit, and they don't. So this is another great moment, whether it's intentional or not, where Godlike are now completely avoiding Neon Sparrow. He has to send these bolts out completely blind. I have to imagine this is all a disciplined call of Godlike saying, let's not play into the Sparrow. I really hope that that's the case, because if that's so, it's absolutely brilliant. So now, as they see the Sparrow blowing up around them, they wait for this to get delayed. And then the whole idea with this setup is that they're going to try to play around the back and see if they can set up the spawn trap on this side, or get into a spot where they can set it up to where they eventually cut down through the back side of the map, force the Wolves spawn to be at laundry, and then you've got a free route to get onto A while also trying to hold them at bay. There's opportunities here to spawn trap, though, for Godlike. That seems to be the call. And now the claw gets pulled, and that's another one of those moments where it's just like, this is used preemptively, and it's really not finding much. Godlike just decide we don't have to move. This is crazy. Could you imagine how freaked out Wolves have to be at this point? They've popped not one, not two, but 3 operators, and they haven't found a single kill with any of them. The only thing they've killed is the clock. Remember, we were at 2 minutes and like 15 seconds. Now it's down to 49. So they have held Godlike back, but they haven't been able to use these operators to do too much. Finally, Zai is able to get involved. Okay, final attempt here. 8 seconds on the clock for Godlike. Your only opportunity with those couple of trades that just come through is to make a hard push. Now, the thing they do have to their advantage is they've got some players at mid that can make life difficult by getting in towards money window through kitchen. That could really break down this defensive setup for Wolves. Ching's in a great spot, though, at Tiki. Zai, great win, and that pretty much throws it out of contest. There's just no way. Clock runs out on him. I mean, you don't give up lives, but the clock runs out on you. And so there is that element for Wolves. The operator's not finding kills, but they do kill off a lot of the clock. Look at these smokes, man. Watch these smokes come through. Look at them enabling this route. That looked like it was an, let's see, Trunks throws his deep behind pillars. Is that an offensive smoke he runs through? It sure feels like it, but this is brilliant from Trunks. Using a deep smoke to block out what that smoke blocks is all of this on the backside of pillars. So Trunks is thinking, let me self-smoke and just dive on in. He's got support. I don't know who that is behind him. Number 2, it's Prevail. He could follow with him. He could stay a little bit safer on the ring. And then you've got Neutrino. War Machine's already out. I imagine he is spamming everything on the backside of Van over here. But at least buy themselves some time. Yep, they're just spamming Trunks in. He only gets one, but it already kind of dissuades this Wolves initial hit pretty convincingly. The War Machine does get shut down. Again, this is great from Wolves. They fight back against all this resiliency. You've got mid-map control for Godlike. They're going to use that as their setup operation to get back in towards B and try to recontest it. But Wolves, they do a really, really nice job of finding good trades here. Really, really clean stuff. Because Prevail could have blown the play up right there, but a really quick reaction from King. Trunks could only get one, and then Neutrino just gets stuck. So really good trades from Wolves right there. Great opportunity, great offer, I would say, in terms of what Godlike wanted to do defensively. Doesn't fully work out. So with the 3rd tick being earned, you chalk it, and then you set up what I'm calling right now, which is an aggressive A defense. You want it to look like this, if at all possible. You get bedroom control, it completely stalls out any easy hit from Wolves to come through the front. Okay, that blocks that out almost completely. If you could just 50-50 mid, that's also fine, because it gives you an opportunity off spawn to get a read to see where you have to plug the holes. And then if you could also kind of keep this laundry control with one player, it sets up this kind of line, right, where everyone's behind this. And that makes life very difficult for Wolves if you can successfully spread. There are also opportunities to push through bedroom and do what Godlike did the first defense, which is get into the back here and force the spawns to be up top. So here comes Wolves trying to flush out Trunks. And that smoke is like, nope, not interested. Just completely pushes them off. And look what it's done to Wolves. This is kind of a really lack of confidence play in my mind, where they're saying, we don't want to bother with any of this, so we're just going to rewrap all the way around the back. It's pretty weak, I'm not going to lie, but is what it is. It just allows, again, look at this line that's set up defensive. It's like an iron curtain right here for the side of Godlike. Good kills from Wolves. Puts a huge threat onto Godlike. But I say this top bedroom position is so key. You can spam and help from so many areas. Huge gunfight win from Abiz. Huge gunfight win from Abiz. And the thing that never changed, Neutrino never got out of bedroom. So you trust your teammates to eventually take care of the spawn trap that's trying to come through with Neon on the Sparrow and now the Pred. But you've continually also kept Wolves away from being able to reinforce this and be able to hit with concentrated numbers onto the zone itself. Really, really good stuff from Neutrino, not sweating and keeping his position. And that gunfight win from Trunks, also massive, because you still have mid-map control. So you still don't have a chance to fully flood with numbers while your player in the back is doing work. Trunks gets a real good read here. Claw goes out. Just make sure you flush everyone out from the bottom side of bedroom. Good help from a bees over the top. And now all of a sudden, Godlike have redominated control. All because they trusted that there was going to be 1v1s here in the back that they could survive through while still holding on to bedroom. Really, really clean stuff. Now you're in final defense territory. 35 seconds on the clock. Look at the spawns for Wolves. The hits all coming around the back. Really good awareness from Learn, just playing in a 1-for-1 corner where he can get the advantage on the spiral staircase in the back. Also got a little bit of a chip and play over through window. Really good stuff here from Godlike. Just really good control. Yeah, and you can just kind of tell with the breakdown of the minimap, there's just not a moment where Wolves can get a concentrated hit with that player on the back, not once but twice. And then the ending of this round is just exciting, flat out. This is just 50-50 gunfights. We love this.
Red Missile gets called in for it, and it's an even trade. Now it's down to the 5v4. 1 second on the clock, and they get there to stop the clock. Shake is on, playing it over towards the side. Trunks able to hit him with a hunter-killer drone, and that will tick off the final.
And it's just one of those things, like, I think Godlike did a really nice job defending against the back push. Here we go. This is cheeky. This is cheeky. If I remember this correctly, which I may not. I'm an old man, okay? You got to give me a little bit of a break. But this is super cheeky. A bees is Pop Sparrow. You've got Neutrino watching over this. So this Sparrow is going to be sent towards this staircase. See if you can find some kills. Neutrino is going to make sure no one rotates into the zone. This is going to tell Wolves, oh boy, they are coming B. Are they? Are they though? Really cool little like, hey, look at us. We're over here. Just kidding, we're over here. Like a little sleight of hand trick. Love it. It's a really cool idea. It has forced Wolves to make some tough decisions. King has popped the War Machine out. Peg has the opportunity to pop his operator if he needs to. He's number 1, but you can kind of tell they've gotten a solid read here. He's gotten all the way up towards Art. So it's a good show of force.
Maybe a bit of a fake though. This is a lot of force.
But Wolves do a pretty solid job of getting a read at this. And then Neon is sniping everything, dude. He is the one that creates openings for the defense to get back in towards A. Really good stuff from Neon in the kill feed. All right, Neutrino's popped War Machine. He's in the back from basketball. He's trying to spam this out so no defense can come through. But look what's happening in the meantime. How did this happen, you might ask? Let's take a look. Remember this large hit where Neon was saving the day over here? Everybody else decided they wanted to push through. And now you've got the spawn trap being set up. Again, I'm not going to break this down too much because we are going to spend some time doing that on a solo video. But as a brief teaser, if you can find a way to get yourself into a position that is backside van and over towards AC, it will force Godlike to spawn inside of Gym. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. But it's a really good idea here from Wolves. They get that final kill. And now Neutrino, who's popped War Machine, that's the key here. He's like, uh-oh, I need to worry about everything. He's trying to worry. Yeah, you get smoked. He's trying to worry about this backstairs position. He's also trying to like, do I need to throw this in towards window? Like there's just so many questions and he ends up getting sniped. So now your options are a bit limited. 42 seconds on the clock. You kind of have to make a gut check call over towards B. A, this does not work well. Neon's shutting it down by himself. So Godlike do clear out the spawn trap. We'll talk about how they did that in another video. Make sure you subscribe now to check that out. And then it's all about trying to reinforce these two. And I believe you do see a little route that happens through mid. Again, just good awareness here from Godlike to make sure they clear everything out, including this mid position. Yeah, they play through Zig. They get pillars control because of that. You reinforce that Art. Now you've got full clearance, and Wolves really don't have an opportunity to come back into this unless you can get number 2 around the back, and maybe you can surprise some people, and that seems to be the idea here. But I think Neutrino gets a solid read on this, if I remember right. Yeah, so he gets a read on this. Good pre-fire. 1-for-1 is fine. You know that there's someone behind you, but the 60 seconds is already added on the clock. Really, really good stuff to give yourself a chance here if you're Godlike. Now, there is a moment, and this isn't a prime example of this, but I still want to be able to kind of talk through it. Let's get a status of where the game is right now. You're down 5 lives if you're Godlike. You've got 1 minute and 18 seconds, and you need 1-2 ticks of progress on the A zone. This is one of those conditions that I say it's not worthwhile to try to play for a spawn trap. Why? Mostly because of these 2 things right here in the middle of the screen. You only need 2 ticks, and there isn't a lot of time to do that. So let's just say that they pull off a good spawn trap here, and you get the lives down to like 10, plays up against, we'll call it 12. So they reduce a 5 life gap to a 2 life gap. Do these numbers really give you the idea that you're going to be be able to use 1 respawn per person to get 2 ticks of progress in 1 minute and 19 seconds? I don't think so. I would rather see here Godlike try to play for kitchen control and look for multiple angles of ingress in towards A. You don't even have to wrap around the back here. You could just wrap safely, hold on to this, move in towards this. Because then you've got the chance to still possibly move the spawn a little bit to be up in this area. I'm not showing the minimap, I'm sorry. And if you can find good control towards pool side and through window side, then you can get on the zone and try to defend a little bit against these 3 players that are in the back. Great kills. So you've got the lives down and now you've moved the spawns, but I think this takes too long. Like, you've got window, you've got front pool, you've got even a play around through basketball. Everything needs to be going towards the zone here. Because look what Wolves are doing. And I don't think Godlike is going to realize this in the moment, but Godlike, Wolves are trying to set up the spawn trap again. Here's the thing about it is, this spawn trap doesn't matter if you get on the zone. They have to come back to the play. So these kills are good. Get on the point. Look at the minimap. They're trying to set up the spawn trap. You've got players who spawn towards laundry, re-wrapping in towards mid. And you're blocking spawns. So you know they're spawning up here. It's 11 plays 12. Sure, there's a win condition there off the lives, but that's 50 seconds. You only need 2 ticks of progress. You have to get 1, 2, 3 members on the A zone. Hide. You know where they're coming from. They can only hit you from this direction or through window. And you've got a player that can pinch that if they need to. You got to get on the point.
The kill. Here comes the opportunity to stack.
No one's on.
Progress not being worked on yet, but it could. 9v11. Second tick of progress going to get locked. Wolves need to find a way to go. They're still in mid-map. They're nowhere to be found.
There's 2 ticks of progress done. You were going to tell me with 2 ticks done, 1 to go, and you just got a double from a beast, that you're not going to get everyone who has a pulse on the frickin' point? Get on the point! Win the game! Why? Why? Oh.
Bees, learn, cleaning things.
No one's on it!
1 more tick needed. 8v8. Get on the point. Get on the point! Wolves have given a lifeline! And Neon will clean things up through pool stairs. King also combines! Get on the point! 6v4! Wolves with the numbers advantage!
Oh no.
18 seconds to play! Gotta make a move now for Godlike! And there's nowhere to go besides from the front! Oh, what a missed opportunity! We're gonna go to round 5!
That should have been game 7. There are 2 chances for Godlike to stack the point and make significant progress. Right here, when they set up that little bit of spawn manipulation, you're forcing Wolves to come this way. Wolves make a really bad mistake in pushing these players towards bedroom through, because they're trying to set up a spawn trap of their own. If you remember the game versus Elevate at CDFI, Wolves made this same mistake where they were like, hey, we could get in and make a spawn trap happen. And it's like we could do it, so let's do it, without evaluating where you are in the status of the game. It's 11v12. You don't need to spawn trap right now with 48 seconds. You just have to play defense. So first and foremost, Godlike are given a gift, but they don't decide to use it. Everyone tries to play it through mid. They're all looking for kills. No one is stacking the zone. They eventually get the second tick of progress, but look at this cleanup. Abiz gets 2. An incredible 2, actually. He, from here, snaps to find this player at window and then quick scopes the guy in front of him at the front. You've got an annihilator out. This whole play for learn should be, let me stand right here and watch this window. That's it. You're watching the back. You're watching the back. You're watching mid. Get on the freaking point. Why, Trunks, are we sitting in Tiki? What are you going to get sitting in Tiki when you have this set up around you? Get on the freaking point. There should have been at least 2 players on. It is a $1 million mistake. So now we're in round 5, and this is the bad news. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hunter killer drone, lots of operators at the ready. It did feel like Godlike recognized they made a critical error. So it's a full B hit For the side of Wolves, you've got a Pred Missile earned. Peg has gotten himself a Purifier deep into Laundry, so now B is chalked. You just can't play for B. In fact, what I would have liked to have seen them do is set up the spawn trap here, because you've got a free entryway off of this chalk. Problem is, there's so many tools available for Wolves that things can change so quickly. So they decide to try to set up the A defense, which I don't mind, but it is one of those moments where there was an opportunity here as well. It's just there are so many tools for Wolves. You don't just want to give them a free rotation over towards A. So here comes the force of the spawn. Same idea that we kind of had from the first defense. Get over towards waterfall side, back AC. Force these spawns for Wolves to be up top, and then force them to kind of have to make a decision on how they want to play through the map here. Kind of like, this is option 1, the safe one. This is option 2. You don't know what you're going to get. This is option 3. We're just going to try to bull rush you. So now you're in this spot of, it's kind of a spawn trap on two sides. You had a little bit of success in the backside for Godlike. They're able to go essentially 2 kills and still hold them back. But at the same rate, now all of a sudden, Godlike is spawning towards Laundry side, and you've got members for Wolves holding them back. It's chaos at this point. It's absolute chaos. Really tough gunfight right there from Prevail. So now you've used the Pred Missile to open up the front doors. You get a big elimination from Xing onto a B's over towards bedroom side, and that has completely opened the floodgates. You got a member on towards 8. You've got hits through mid because mid has been controlled almost the entirety of the round by Wolves. And now you've opened up the floodgate from the front. So you've got this opportunity to kind of set up Wolves like this, to where they can quickly hit through this cushion. They could quickly reinforce and make life difficult even further towards either the backside of kitchen or through money window. There's just so many options here, and this is how fast the map can move when you have good mid-map control. SMGs for Wolves are dominating inside of kitchen. Peg really popped off here, flat out, and now it's just over. There's no way Godlike can come back through this. Neutrino does well with the War Machine, but this is blind. He can only hit one corner, and it all kind of falls apart from here. Look at the lives. It costs so much. Should have gone to 7. $1 million mistake. Oh, it's so painful. But, and I think the thing about it is, ultimately speaking, Godlike put up a hell of a show, man. Wolves, I will say, did punish for the mistakes, flat out. I think they're making mistakes of their own right there. A couple of key moments, I would say, where both teams were kind of giving vulnerabilities to one another, but it's just that mistake from Godlike. That's $1 million mistake, man. So there's the raid control. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Lots of requests to go back and do some CDFI stuff, which I'm totally down to do. I'm also going to try to find a couple of good maps between Q9 and Wolves, and also kind of show you guys some of the Wolves setups that they pulled versus Godlike in the finals, and what allowed players like King and Neon just to absolutely dominate with sniper rifles. I'll be candid with you guys. The breakdown and the analysis is mostly going to be Godlike never shrugged the snipers off of good angles, and the snipers were just overpowered, man. They weren't missing shots. They were just on this day for Wolves. So small marination, small teaser for you guys there. Make sure you sub if you enjoyed the content. It's on a long way. Back when I did the channel full time, we got partnership for it, and it quickly got taken away because I stopped uploading. You guys have re-given me partnership in 4 days. So unbelievable stuff. Huge love to all the supporters that have been out there. All of you guys that have been putting on the comments below. Love that. But that's it for now. So we'll catch you guys later. Till that point, bye-bye. Have fun. Do things. I don't know what I'm saying. Later.